This guy is definitely a next-level survival expert. He's been living all by himself in the desert for 3 years. Not only did he build a small cabin, but he even planted crops. As the days went by, his little home started to really take shape. But then the weather began to cool down, and he knew he had to finish the roof fast if he wanted to survive the freezing winter. So, he decided to tear down the temporary shelter he made before and reuse the materials to strengthen the walls. Pretty soon, the cabin was already half his height. But since he was so focused on getting the roof done, he completely lost track of time. Before he knew it, night had already fallen, and his new shelter wasn't even finished yet. He had no choice but to lean some branches against the wall, throw some pine bark on top, and make himself a simple spot to rest. The next morning, he got right back to work. But the temperature difference between day and night was brutal, so he decided to finish the roof first and leave the rest for spring. He went into the mountains to chop wood, still using that same stone knife, which was super slow. This time, though, he brought along a torch he had made earlier. It was fueled by pine twigs, charcoal, and shredded pine bark, and it could burn for up to 2 hours. The heat made the branches easy to break, so he took them home, scraped off the bark, and burned the ends smooth. Then he used mud blocks to make a little stool by the wall, sat down, and started weaving rope with yucca leaves. That rope was meant to hold the beams that would support the roof. Once 3 big beams were in place, they held up the entire roof, and he tied them tightly with the rope. He used a tripod to support the rest of the branches, but since there were no perfectly straight tree trunks around, the work took a lot longer. After that, he made a willow ring and fitted it onto the roof frame so the branches could be fixed in place. He then collected dozens of willows from the base of the mountain and tied them firmly to the beams so nothing would slip. Once the frame was ready, he started laying strips of bark across it. With the roof angle at about 40 degrees, he didn't have to worry about the bark sliding off. The next day, he went out and spotted deer tracks. But for now, finishing the roof was all that mattered. He found a dead tree, and the bark peeled off easily, giving him a big pile to work with. Back home, he added it to the roof, but it still wasn't enough, so he planned to collect more the following day. To keep the cabin warm, he hung a piece of deer skin over the doorway. The next morning, he went back for more bark and finally finished the roof. He even brought back 2 big stones to place at the door as a threshold. At this point, the cabin was basically complete. But he didn't stop, he kept making mud blocks every day to reinforce the walls. As the air grew colder, he started gathering firewood. Luckily, the area was full of dead trees, so in half an hour, he had plenty. Even without a door, the cabin stayed warm inside. He sat by the fire and had something to eat, but eventually, he sealed the doorway with mud blocks. Since food was limited, all he had were beans he had picked earlier. Just as he was resting, it suddenly started snowing outside. He jumped up, grabbed snow from the roof, and ate it to quench his thirst. When he came out again, the snow had stopped. He went back to gathering bark to make a door. The dead trees made it easy to get large pieces.